3, 2, 1, go.
Welcome back, everybody, to the Triad of the Forest podcast, a podcast from 3 Puerto Rican friends coming together to do deep dives into Star Wars and other nerd-related media. This is season 3, episode 21, and today there's a couple of things that we want to talk about. We want to talk about Lego Star Wars Summer Vacation, which just came out recently, and if you know, our own awesome Goose got to talk to the writer and director of that awesome little movie, and we weren't able to talk about spoilers, so today we are.
Today we will.
There's also the amazing new Andor trailer that dropped recently, which we have to gush about because we are obsessed with Andor even before it has even come out. But before that, we have a little announcement. Our own awesome co-host Mo is going to take a little break because they're studying for the bar. We wish them all the best. We know they're going to be amazing. So for everybody listening, just send some positive vibes,
yeah,
Mo's way. But luckily we get to keep it en la familia because Mo's sister has decided to help us out in our hour of need. So Joanne, welcome to the Triad. Bienvenida. Thank you so much for joining us.
Oh my god. thanks for joining us. Oh my god, we're so happy because I remember when Mo told us that like they were gonna take that mini break for the bar. We were like, okay, we're gonna have to find a replacement, not a replacement. Oh my god, someone to take the reins for a little bit while they're out studying. And this is like, who is it gonna be? Because I know all our other podcasting friends are obviously busy with everything that they're doing.
But then are we gonna have to do somebody different every time, or how is this gonna work?
But then your name was brought up, and I was just like, oh my god, this is family. I don't know if she knows anything about Star Wars, but this is perfect. But this is perfect because it's just
perfect timing.
It's perfect timing, keeping it in the family, and just just a brand new perspective, and and keeping it in the Puerto Rican triad,
right?
Which was also very, very important. So thank you so much for joining us and for taking time.
Thank you guys for having me.
Yes,
I know you're busy. You were telling us that you're doing some of your dreams right now besides some of your academic pursuits. So obviously, without going as personal as you feel comfortable or not, why don't you tell a little bit about the audience about yourself a little bit? As I mentioned, obviously you're Mo's sister, and like I met you over 10 years ago, so but you were a small child back then. But then again, weren't we all? So. Tell us a little bit about your journey. Let's start with your Star Wars journey, though. How do you feel that you relate to Star Wars? Like, are you a super fan, kind of like myself or Nani or more? Are you more passive? Like, how do you engage with Star Wars at this
point? I would say that I did actually engage with Star Wars since I was little because all my brothers love to watch it. So I was going to the theaters to watch Star Wars, and maybe I wasn't 100% on it because I was there and was really little. So I was watching all those Star Wars fight and lightsabers, and it was not until recently I started watching them all again and being very passionate about it. So
thanks to the podcast to an extent.
Right.
That's awesome. And you were mentioning now that you're pursuing a career of sorts in acting. Why don't you tell us a little bit about that?
Right. So I recently started acting, and it has been a really good thing to do because I've always thought of doing it since I was really little, and now I have the time to do it before I go to a doctorate degree or something. So
doctorate degree. Oh.
But yeah, it's very, very nice. It's a very nice journey to start and do something you always wanted to do, and I'm really happy about it. So
Well, that's so great to
very
hear.
cool.
It's always it's always
Yeah.
beautiful to hear people doing the thing that they're passionate about,
Following
and then
dreams and
being happy to do it.
Mhm.
It just I don't know.
Right, right.
It's infectious. You know, your happiness is making me
Yeah.
happy. Hopefully, it's making all of our listeners happy. So that's awesome. What's your doctorate gonna be about though? That sounds pretty ambitious though.
Right.
Uh,
Well, I actually don't know what's my doctor is gonna be, but
mhm,
I was thinking about vet school
Oh
or
wow.
mhm,
um or I don't know if being a lawyer too. I don't know.
Oh my
They're
god.
very different, but I don't know what to actually do. So like
Everybody in
I'm
law school here.
right. I'm
Not
experimenting.
me. Not
So
me.
maybe you could give me like some ideas about it. So
If you want architecture too, you know, you might as well just
right.
throw that in the mix. Why not? I feel like like that Taco Bell. No, was it Taco Bell or Taco whatever? One of those taco commercials where they're asking like if you have to have the taco sit down or stand up, and the little girl's just like, hey, why not both? So in this
Right.
case, it's the same thing. Why not all three? Well, that's amazing. I'm glad that
Right.
you're
Now
going.
it's the perfect moment to like
Yeah, decide and
yeah,
try
to
different
decide.
Yeah.
things and
Right.
yeah.
Oh my
Mhm.
god. And study abroad. Study abroad. Let's
Right.
let's
Yeah.
let's go and like expand our horizons and see the world and do everything, and then come back to
Definitely.
Puerto Rico and contribute back. Even though I didn't do that. But that's not true. I did do it. I did do it for a year, and whatever.
I goes.
Whatever. We'll go out for, if anyone's listening, we'll go out for drinks and I'll explain it to you later. But anyway, let's get down to the meat of it. Like Nani was saying, today we're gonna talk about two things: Andor and the Lego Star Wars Summer Vacation Summer Special Extravaganza. Obviously, we'll start with Lego right now because that's something that's been on our minds. Came out first a little bit. We were blessed by Lucasfilm to get a screener for that, so we were able to see it and review it before it had come out. And if you haven't seen it, it's now available on Disney Plus. So make sure to stream it
And it's
immediately.
really fun. Just go ahead and do yourself the favor to watch it because it's
Yes.
really, really fun.
Right.
Yeah.
And it was good. It was good, and like seeing it beforehand, then being able to talk to David Chang, the writer, and Ken Cunningham, the director, was kind of a blessing because you can see like the passion that these
Yeah.
creators have, like behind the scenes of like what they're doing, and it's just, again, it's like what you were saying, like following your passion now and doing this whole acting stuff. It's just something that it makes you happy when you see that someone's happy that doing something that also is supposed to project joy on someone else, and that's what this Lego Star Wars specials do, right? They're just fun and meant to be taken lightheartedly and to just enjoy them. So it was really, really a privilege to see it and talk to them, and now be able to finally be able to talk to it and review it with
Talk
everyone
about the
else.
actual content.
Talk
Yeah.
about the actual
Yeah.
content. It's
Yeah.
really difficult, right? To like see some. This is the first time we've ever had screeners. So like to
Yeah.
see something and,
And not
like,
mention anything.
it's just like, well, now
about
I was
it.
like I saw it now.
No
What do I do?
spoilers. No
Yeah.
spoilers.
How do I ask
Exactly.
something without spoiling it?
Right. But thankfully today, this is full spoiler. We are reviewing it. We are talking about everything that we liked. So why don't we just start with like our initial reactions? Joanne, you're our guest, so obviously why don't we start with you? What did you think of the Lego Summer Special? Had you seen any of the other Lego Star Wars specials before, or was this like your first one?
No, this will be my first one. So.
Okay, I think it's a good, the best one to start. Honestly, this is my
Yeah.
favorite. So, what did you think going into? What did you
So,
expect, and what did you
I
think?
would say that my first thought of it was nostalgia. So like, because like since little I played with actual Legos, and
Yeah.
it was really fun to watch. So I think it's more like a source of inspiration, and it's a very nice episode that I recently watched. So
Danny, what about you?
I loved it. I've always loved the Lego. I love almost everything Lego because there's so much whimsy and like humor to it. And infused into these characters that we already love, and there's like a little bit more freedom to do whatever you want just because it's not completely restricted by the canon and everything. So it's always a joy, and especially because even though we love all of Star Wars, it really is, it's for the kids, and especially the Lego stuff is clearly directed at the kids, with like, lessons at the end, and something to make you smile. And this one was really cool because you got those like 3 little stories of characters you don't really expect to see on vacation, like ever. So I mean, it was a really it was a really like good end to the summer kind of thing to watch. That's really refreshing, and it's very hopeful about a lot of the characters too. So I think there's a lot that you can learn from it, and I can't wait for my niece to be old enough to watch it and I can watch it with her. So
and speaking of which, you get like a double whammy of like new family members to start brainwashing a little bit into Star Wars, because Marina was obviously just born fairly recently, and I know that your brother and his wife are expecting very soon. Like I actually emailed them. I emailed like an old man. I texted them like the other day, being like, "Hey, can I go over there to visit this weekend?" And it's like, "Oh wait, no, that's you're in the danger zone during that week. You're about to go to the hospital." So you're gonna have like two brand new nieces and nephews there.
See, the problem is with my nephew, like the dad is there, fully ready to brainwash into Star Wars. It's gonna have to be my job to do it with the niece, because her parents are not as into Star Wars as we are. But we'll get there. We'll get both.
We'll get there. That's
we'll get
that's
both
what matters.
of them to our side. Yeah.
That is absolutely what matters. As long as they get on the Star Wars train, doesn't matter. That's what we need. That's where we need to get them. No, but I agree with everything everyone's saying.
As long as they join the Force.
Yes.
On either side, it's fine. You can be dark side, light side. It doesn't matter.
Exactly.
You can just be Force sensitive, like Ahsoka. In the middle, like the Bendu. It doesn't matter.
Like the Bendu. Yeah. But I think that's the important thing, though, and I think that's one of the cool things about this, the Lego Star Wars and all this media that is adjacent, right, to like the main movies and shows and stuff. And it's just like that there's so many ways to inject yourself into Star Wars and to be a fan, that it's really important to be open to like fandoms, especially like seeing all this stuff that's happening with like Stranger Things and Metallica, and a bunch of like these old fans of Metallica being like, well, you're not a real fan because you like Master of Puppets because of Stranger Things. It's like, who cares? Like how you find the thing that you love. You found it through a show, if you found it through Tony Hawk Pro Skater, you found it through Lego Star Wars or whatever. The important thing is that you found it, and now you're here and you're part of the family, and you just enjoy it however you want to enjoy it. It's about joy. That's the main word, and that's what this Lego Star Wars summer vacation special means to me. It's been joy because it was so fun from beginning to end. It was my favorite of the 3. Lego Holiday Special probably comes second, and then the Terrifying Tales comes in third. I wasn't that big of a fan of Terrifying Tales, and I think I was a little apprehensive towards Holiday Special, because I'm like, okay, the original Holiday Special is infamous for being horrible. So like now this is like this is the Holiday Special, but it's gonna be Lego. Like I don't know what to expect, and you always come with your preconceived notions in your mind of like how Star Wars is supposed to be. And once you let go of that and you realize to just go enjoy the journey, that you're much more free to enjoy the thing that you're enjoying. Obviously, sometimes things suck. We can't. I don't want to be talking about. I don't want to be toxically positive here. Some things.
But these are fun. Yeah.
And some things suck, but you have to just let it go and be like, oh, it wasn't for me. I hope it resonates with someone else. But Lego Summer Vacation was like super fun. Like it's because you just come in it. Maybe it's because of the seasonal thing, and it's summer, and kind of reminded me of Puerto Rico, because we're on vacation, it's at the beach, and everyone's just having fun. It was just like, oh yeah, like I was more amenable to the summer vacation story more than the other ones a little bit. But I think the choices of characters were wonderful, like making the story about Obi-Wan and Ben and Palpatine. I mean, that was who would have thought that having Papa Palpatine as the main character to learn something positive, though. That's the great thing. To learn something positive from Palpatine.
Did you just give me a life lesson from the Emperor? Who would expect? And but it works. What? It's like, he's who I learned from. That's
like have fun while you can, even though like you're with the
with the Emperor.
you're right.
Yeah. Oh,
With the
it's got a
ultimate villain of the
zap.
whole series. Yeah.
The ultimate evil. It's just like,
Yeah.
but hey, that goes to show you can learn something from anybody. And hopefully something good. But yeah, I loved it. There were so many fun little stories, and
Yeah.
the Lego specials are doing the heavy lifting in terms of like post episode 9 sequel era content. So if it weren't for the Lego specials, we wouldn't see Rey, Poe,
Yeah,
and
I know.
Finn and Rose.
Mhm.
So kudos to the Lego team for keeping those, those 4 still in the consciousness of the Star Wars fandom and continuing their stories. So that's fun. So a lot of people are worried of the canonicity, I guess, if that's a word, of the Lego summer vacation specials. But it's just like, don't worry about canon. It's canon adjacent. Maybe some things happened, some things probably didn't. But there were some interesting hints in there of what we could potentially see from Poe, Rose, Finn, and Rey
Yeah.
and their continuing journeys. But maybe we'll talk about that later. Let's talk about like our favorite parts of the summer special. Obviously, it's divided in 3 parts, like I mentioned: the Obi-Wan Kenobi story, Palpatine story, and Ben Solo's story. What did you guys think of each one, and which one was your favorite? Joanne, let's start with you.
It was like it was really funny because like nobody expected that Obi-Wan will have fun and go on vacation, and then suddenly we see Emperor Palpatine also having like a little vacation and having fun.
They're duality.
Right. And then Princess Leia Organa and with its family and also like doing what they like love and having fun. It's really nice. But my favorite one was with the Emperor Palpatine and Anakin. Like it was really unexpected for me. So yeah.
That was really good. Yeah, like it, especially with how it starts, right? Because it's just Force Ghost Anakin with full scuba gear.
I know.
Just coming
Like,
out of the
what?
water. Like what the hell's happening here? It's so much fun. And exactly,
James Bond style out of the water.
Yeah, exactly. Oh my god, yeah, you're right. Oh my god, that was the reference. You're absolutely right. I did not get that at all.
I was laughing like an idiot when that happened. I was like, I can't believe they did this.
Was that Thunderbolt?
Like,
which James Bond movie was
Anakin.
that? No.
I don't know all the
Yeah, I'm not good with the
James
old
Bond.
Sean
Sorry,
Connery ones.
Yeah.
Sorry, James Bond fans, if there's any crossover between our fandoms. What was I gonna say? But Nani, what about you? Which one was your favorite story?
I thought all of them were really great. Like there's something to learn from each of them. I love the feel of Obi-Wan's that it feels like it happens right after the Obi-Wan Kenobi show. You know, and
right.
and you can see him like starting to relax a little bit, actually using the lightsaber and like being a part of life in Tatooine, and then Luke obviously crashing because this is like the theme now that Luke's an idiot now when he's a kid. But I was really tied for favorite between the Palpatine and Vader one and the Ben Solo with the family one. One, because I love the character of Kylo Ren / Ben Solo. So the whole thing just like made me really sad because we know how it ends. So even though it was beautiful the whole time, it's like, no, I don't want to know because look at this. It's their last like family vacation and this is it. They lose him after this. So it was like kind of like really gut wrenching, even though, you know, it's like a lighthearted and, you know, fun family vacation story, but it that one hurt. And then I love Darth Vader and Palpatine hanging out because it actually speaks so much to what the Emperor's character is. I'm bored now. Why is everybody celebrating? I'm already ultimate power and I have nothing to do with it, which is like exactly what would happen to Palpatine, I feel. Like if he doesn't have anything else to conquer, what's he gonna do? I mean, it was always about more power. So once you achieve it, it's like he has absolutely no purpose. And then it's like, this is boring, sucks. I'm leaving the beach. And as soon as he hears ruler of the beach, yes, I need to know to join now because I am the ruler of everything. And then getting super pissed when there's like participation. If there's participation, it means nobody rules.
Those
damn
woke people. Oh my god.
Ultimate power, sabity. And especially because, you know, it's set in Scarif. So this is the beginning of building that base that is like at the center of Rogue One. So it's kind of hilarious that you're like, oh, it went from a beach town to the base to then another beach town. And Anakin's like, well, that's oversimplifying it. But yeah, basically that's what happened.
I did love that Scarif is still doing well, because when I saw that this was actually Scarif, I'm like, wait, wasn't there like a cataclysmic blast from the Death Star that would have just annihilated that beach? But hey, whatever. Like, I'm all for like having nature rehabilitated.
So I think it's kind of cool that even though it's, you know, kind of separate from everything else, it's still, you know, it's the only thing that's talking about, you know, post the sequel trilogies. It talked about Scarif, you know, which is what we're going to see in Andor now. And because, you know, Andor, you know, eventually leads obviously to Rogue One. And then actually one of my favorite parts of the whole thing was in the Ben Kenobi one, when Boba Fett goes after the crew and then the Book of Boba Fett theme just crescendos over it. I was just like, oh my God, I can't believe they did that. So it's like hinting to so it's like this little, you know, these Easter eggs of just like pointing out to like all the other awesome stuff that we're getting from Star Wars, like the Obi-Wan Kenobi show and everything. So, and without it being like super obvious and in your face. So aside from all the joy and all the, you know, all the memories that you get to keep from it, because that's basically like the ultimate, you know, lesson here is about, you know, as long as we remember, as long as we had fun, as long as we enjoyed it, we're always going to have these memories, and, you know, saying goodbye is not the end. So I really liked it. But I think at the end for me, Palpatine and Darth Vader on the beach is just, and then Darth Vader just being so frustrated, like, I serve you so well and you are so annoying.
I mean, because the power dynamics, you know, because, you know, the emperor doesn't care about Vader's joy, but Darth Vader is a lapdog, you know, and he just lives to serve someone else and to make someone else happy because he's miserable. So there's a big imbalance there, in like how someone's trying to keep each other happy. So that's a toxic relationship.
Obviously, yes.
They need to, as we've said many times before, there needs to be therapy.
In Star Wars.
They need some couples counseling or something like that. But as we know that there's no psychiatrist or psychologist in the Star Wars galaxy. I agree with everyone. I think I did like the Obi-Wan one, but that didn't do the home run for me. It was Ben Solo. Ben Solo, like, for me, just fucking killed it. I love that he was dressed like a little baby Han a little bit, but with the color palettes are kind of Leia's color palette, but still Han's vest and everything like that. And it was so sweet because it was kind of like a National Lampoon Vacation type of thing in terms of like the family. The family go on vacation because it's, you know, the dad wants to go on holiday and they're doing that because that's what he did. That's what's fun for him, without realizing that maybe that's not what's fun for the family. And obviously more Ben Solo content, right? It's just we saw so little of Ben and Kylo Ren in Rise of Skywalker specifically, and then to kill him off, it's kind of like, oh crap. That, you know, to see him as Ben was really sweet, especially seeing him be a nervous teenager and like gotta have a summer crush and be like, oh, gotta impress the girl, let's go on the Millennium Falcon and like do all that summer literally summer vacation stuff was hilarious. And I think Andor was setting it in Andor was like the perfect thing, because it did feel like American summer vacation, you know, where your parents ship you off to like summer camp and you're out there doing stuff in the woods. And, you know, if you've seen any American movie about that, you know what that entails. So to kind of see that in Lego form was so much fun. But then like you said, Natty, but then it ends bittersweet. He goes to the Jedi temple, and they do the whole classic "I love you, I know" thing. Yeah. But then it's kind of like, okay, well, but you're going to the Jedi temple, and everyone knows
this is it.
Everyone knows that when this happens, your fate is sealed. But yeah, there are little lessons in all of them, but I think there's such valuable lessons to kind of remind ourselves, because they're all things I think that we know at the end of the day, but it's things that's kind of nice to be like, you're right. I haven't really done that. lately. And
It's
and
always
Ben
good to
Stoltz is just
remember them.
yeah,
Yeah.
enjoy the moments, and I think that one is very poignant because sometimes we kind of live our lives in autopilot. I feel, and we kind of forget to be
You're
like, oh
busy
yeah,
and you don't, yeah.
like it's
Mhm.
good. I have family that loves me. I have friends that love me. Like, but and let's enjoy those little things. And I think the last kind of lesson of the holiday special. I wrote it here and I have it like a big bold red because I also wrote it like for the interview. Was although every trip eventually ends, the memories never do. Like I
Yeah.
was just like, yeah, you're right. The memories until you die, and then your mind, your consciousness goes into oblivion, and then like
Well,
nothing
not in
exists.
Star Wars because Force
But
Ghosts.
true.
And we
That
do
might,
get to see Ben with his mom again. Ghost
which makes
form.
me
That
which
cry.
makes me think maybe he's coming back somehow.
We'll
Maybe
see. We'll
Ray
see.
maybe Ray finds. They say that she's going into the unknown regions to find Jedi temples over there. So
Yeah.
maybe she finds some
Maybe
way to
something.
And maybe
materialize.
we'll reunite with them being ghosts.
Yeah. Was there anything from summer vacation that you guys want to see more of? Obviously, we kind of started going in that direction, right? Talking about Ray, but
Mhm.
Joanne, was there something there that they said that you were like, oh yeah, I wanna keep seeing that story?
Right. I actually found that interesting that Andor is coming out, and
Mhm.
they point out in the Anakin Vader and Palpatine that it's and they're building like a base. They will build a base in Scarab, so it's not a coincidence
Yeah.
that Andor is going to be released and the summer vacation was released in the same time. So
Mhm.
like I would like to see more of that and how did it become like to the Rogue One events also.
Yeah. Yep. Oh, 100% agree. I mean, well, we'll get to Andor.
We'll get
Oh,
to
man.
Andor.
Yeah. So excited, right? I mean, obviously, we'll
Yeah.
get to that, but like
Right.
it's the show that I was like not as excited for, and then I saw the trailer. I'm like, okay, I'm
Yeah.
on board. Let's go. But Nani, what did you see anything in the summer vacation that you were like, oh, I want to see more of that, or I want to see that story continue, or I want to see kind of that jump into a different type of show, whatever.
Well, I think it's just, I think they're just their own thing,
Mhm.
So I have really enjoyed them so far. So I am just all for them continue to do like different, just special that they maybe explore some different characters, or I mean,
Mhm.
it sounded from when you were interviewing the creators that, kind of theme comes first, and as they discuss theme, that they decide then what characters are going to drive the story and all of that. So
Mhm.
I
Oh,
don't
you
know. I
listened to
think,
it.
of course, I did.
One listener.
But I think it's a good creative process. So I am all good with everything that they do. The video game is actually really fun if nobody has played it. The Lego Star
I
Wars.
haven't, but I've heard very good things.
It
Yeah.
goes through all 9 of the films, and it's obviously from the Lego point of view, so it's like whimsical and stuff, and they're really, really fun. So I just, whatever they want to keep doing, they'll keep doing, because we're gonna get a lot more Star Wars content soon that is gonna be like straight up serious. So as it's always nice to have a little breath of fresh air and just laugh.
Yeah.
And have something that knows exactly what it is.
Yeah, I agree. But I've seen a lot of people online sorry, my accent comes out. Been talking about I blanked out. Oh,
Right?
this being a trilogy of 3 specials, and each one focuses
Okay.
on Rey, Poe, and then now Finn. But I'm just saying, no. This is not a trilogy of specials.
You want
This
the
will continue
Avengers?
because we need at least 4, because we can't forget Rose. Rose needs her own
Right.
special.
Rose needs her own. Yeah,
So
I agree.
Justice for Rose, justice for Rose Tico, justice for Kelly Marie Tran, like all you assholes on the internet that like bullied her because of her role in The Last Jedi.
Yeah.
Karma's gonna get you. And we're gonna live in the Kelly Marie Tran Renaissance, and she's gonna come back. We're gonna have a Rose Tico solo movie. It's gonna happen. She's gonna have her own solo movie. She's gonna have her Lego special. She's gonna have video games, everything. Give her all the love that she deserves.
I'm
because
okay with that. It's a great
no one
character.
deserves that bullying. Yeah,
Mhm.
she is. She's the
And
only
it's a
one
great
that
character.
She's the only one that like set Finn straight. If it weren't for her, Finn would have ran away. If it weren't for her, Finn wouldn't have found like the courage and conviction to become a general. So I thought it was a little bit BS that like Finn becomes the general and not her. And she's the first one that gets into that speeder in The Last Jedi. And you know, so whatever. Justice for Rose. So I want to see more of her and have the fourth special. It's not a trilogy. It's a whatever the word after trilogy is. It's that. And that's what it is.
Well, and they kind of pointed it out a little bit because that, you know, when Finn starts getting, you know, flashbacks of what he's learned from all of his companions, and he's like, you know, Poe gave me a name, Rey gave me a purpose, and Rose gave me hope. So, I mean, hope is the most important thing, and that's what Star Wars is mainly about. So, love for Rose.
That was such a
She's
nice
the one
montage.
that brought the hope. So,
and what is Star Wars without hope? It's the whole crux. It's the whole crux of everything. So yeah, more Lego Star Wars special, please invite us to more interviews. Please continue, because these are definitely improving in quality. So we want to see more of them. We want to keep having fun and just sometimes take Star Wars very lightheartedly and just be able to, like, you know, just relax and just enjoy it and have fun. But we also like to do the opposite, like to grow up, be mature, and enjoy some dark Star Wars. And that's what this next part is about, Andor, which is basically a 180 from everything we've been talking about. Something geared a little bit towards like a younger demographic that's supposed to be irreverent and fun, and you know, and not meant to be taken serious, to now Andor, which is the opposite, meant to be taken serious. I wouldn't say it's for adults. I think like children could still enjoy it, but it's more of a mature show. So definitely has a completely different tone than anything we've ever seen. It's kind of the next level, I would say, from Rogue One, because Rogue One was like the boots on the ground war story, and it's gonna continue it, but become even like a thriller. So it's gonna have like a little more edge to it than even Rogue One did. So I'm very excited for the show. Like I was mentioning before, I was not excited when it was announced, because I mean, it's like, well, okay, we could, like, there's so much stuff we could do with Star Wars, so many characters we don't know about, so many directions we haven't seen, so many eras that we could explore. Why would we just go to stuff that we've already seen? And then all of a sudden the trailer came out, and I was just like, the original teaser trailer came out, and I was just like, okay, I'm wrong as usual. I'm in. I'm ready for this. But
and then the full-length trailer.
Holy Jesus Christ. That blew my mind. Let's talk before about the trailer, like our expectations for Andor before that came out. Was that something that we were excited about? Joanne, were you excited for Andor, or at this time was this like before podcast interest, and like Andor was kind of like a passive thing in your life? Did you have any expectations for this show, or what were your thoughts before watching this trailer?
Definitely. I would say like Rogue One, it's kind of like being an actual event. But maybe I'm expecting like for like whatever leads to the Rogue One event. So so I'm kind of like very happy about it, because we're gonna get to see how like the expansion of the Empire. So I think it's something like I'm very excited to watch. So yeah.
Cool. Opposite reaction to where I was at, for sure.
Yeah.
And Nani, how about you? What were you thinking before these trailers and the show was announced? Was it something that you were invested in?
I was actually really excited when they announced it, and I was kind of upset that you weren't excited.
Because of Diego Luna, or because of the show itself?
Mostly Diego Luna, I have to admit. Yes, I will be completely honest.
Then
yes,
there we go.
I am a huge fan, but it was also, the character itself was really interesting, and Rogue One was something that I never expected. I'd never expect to love it as much as I did, and especially because it's like the Empire and the Rebellion don't run itself only by their legacy characters. Like there's the people down there that are like the everyday people, and that has never been really explored, and we get to see a lot of it in Rogue One. But since it's more about everything that happens, we don't really get to find that much about specific characters. And there's so much that we don't know about Cassian Andor. Like there's hints here and there that like all this stuff that I've done and being like disillusioned and all this stuff, but he's still a part of the rebellion. So getting to see, you know, the light side and the dark side of everything, because we also get to see from the trailers now, I wasn't expecting to see so much Imperial from the Imperial side, which has always really, really intrigued me because we always just see them as the bad guys, not as real people. We got a little bit more of that when we got the character of Riva in Obi-Wan, but we haven't really seen how they live their daily lives and everything as the Empire, you know, was really taking over. So that's something that I really think is going to be awesome to watch. And this trailer, I don't know if do you want to just jump into the trailer already?
I mean, it looks like you're excited and you're ready to do a trailer reaction. So Nani, what was your trailer reaction? Well, it's funny because you don't watch trailers. You don't like to watch trailers.
I usually don't watch the trailers. You forced me to for the show, okay? So it's all your
only
fault.
only the Star Wars ones. You can not you don't need to watch the Rings of Power. But
Yeah.
you will watch the Star Wars ones. I'm sorry. We need to record these episodes.
So the teaser was amazing. One of the first things that I remember saying was that the just soundtrack to it was ridiculous, and the long trailer now just cements it that their soundtrack is very unique. They're not going with like the same theme constantly. It sounds like
I thought it was the Squid Games at the beginning.
Oh wow, yeah, it sounds a little bit like
the soundtrack,
it, yeah.
Right?
Maybe
they stole it. Maybe they stole it.
Who knows? But it sounds great, and it goes really well with what they're releasing in the trailer. And then in the first one, we got kind of just like visuals a little bit, and this one, we already start to see a little bit more where the story wants to go. And I'm just really, really excited about, because I had no idea that Stellan Skarsgård was going to be in the show, and
he has the best delivery of someone saying Cassian Andor's name, like Cassian Andor. It's just like, oh my god, he totally like, mispronounced it, totally butchered it, and they were like, okay, you're Stellan Skarsgård, just do whatever you want.
Just do whatever you want. And I think he's an amazing actor, and to know that he's involved in this just adds so much gravitas to it. And you can already tell that he's going to be kind of like, you know, the spy handler kind of character, and there's
triple agent.
So many dimensions to that there, and then the interactions between like on the ground and then like in Imperial areas, which is also I think what we're gonna see from like Mon Mothma trying to play like the double agent as well. So I think like everything I see makes me even more excited about it, even though we still have no idea what it really is. Like, we know it's kind of a spy thriller. We know that it at its core it's about, you know, how does Andor get to Andor in Rogue One, and how the rebellion gets to like where it was there to where it is.
How does he become younger? Yeah, how does he become younger? Like, I want to know that.
Which is kind of crazy. I mean, how hard could it have been to play a character that you played in like 2016, and now you have to play him younger than he was there, and he still looks, you know, the same. That appearance doesn't matter, but
it's probably easier than Genevieve O'Reilly. I mean, she's coming into play Mon Mothma after. Well, she played her in Rogue One, but that was such a short scene. But basically, 17 years since she did like those deleted scenes in Revenge of the Sith. But yeah, that must be a trip, right? To kind of come back to revisit character. But anyway, sorry.
No, and especially characters that we don't really know a lot about them personally, and having the chance to like actually express it through a show that gives you a possibility to have, you know, to flesh everything out way more than you do in movies as well. So I don't know. I think the trailer, everything I watch makes me want to watch it more.
I agree. Joanne, what about you? Like, did you watch the teaser trailer and then this full trailer, or have you only seen like this new one?
I actually saw the trailer, not the teaser.
Okay. So good. So what was your reaction when you saw that? Considering, you know,
my reaction was expectations. Like, right. So when they actually said "fat and satisfied," I was like very happy about that.
Yes, 100%. Yeah.
I was like, they are not expecting that he is gonna like get into the like Imperials and stuff like that. But
Yes.
um maybe it might also be the other way too. That's it. So like, but I really love this statement, so I had to quote it, but unsatisfied.
Yeah,
It's
it's
so
a,
good.
oh my
Yeah.
god, I love, yeah, I love it. It was in the teaser, and I was so glad that they reused it like in this full trailer, because I'm just like, it's such a good line.
Yeah.
It's,
And with like a little more to the sentence too, like a little bit more
ah,
context to what he's saying. It's so
it's a
good.
mwah, mwah, mwah.
Yeah.
It's
Right.
beautiful. It's beautiful.
It was like
Because
sort of like making it deeper and more exciting, like this is gonna
Yeah.
happen, and it's something like it keeps you motivated to actually be able to watch it
yeah,
when
it gives
when
it
it's gonna
gives
be
a whole
released.
different dimension,
Right,
100%.
another perspective of it.
Because as people know, if you've listened to us or if you've listened to us ever, you know that obviously we don't shy away from talking about politics and like what Star Wars means to us and what our political leanings are. So it's very important to us to like have the media that we consume represent the things that we advocate for. And I mean, it's no secret, some people like to pretend that Star Wars is not political, but ever since 1977, when the original Star Wars came out, George Lucas has always been very intentional about what he's saying and about what groups he's representing or not representing in terms of like the political spectrum. Obviously, he did not do the best job at POC representation, but he's a white man from his time, so he can only do so much, I guess. But in terms of politics, like he injected a lot of that into Star Wars. So Star Wars has always been political, and George Lucas has never been shy to confirm what those political meanings have been. So yes, anyone that like tries to deny it, you can fuck off, whatever.
You're
but
watching the wrong thing.
You're watching the wrong. You're watching it.
Yeah.
No, you're watching it the wrong way.
Wrong way. Yeah.
That's the important part. But to that extent, Star Wars has. I mean, I'm not saying that there isn't depth, right? There is depth, and you can add as much meaning as you want to anything. But it's always been kind of binary, right? Good guys, bad guys. You know, the
Yeah.
Empire's bad. They're fascist. The good guys are, are us, and we're blue collar workers, and we're gonna fight for our rights. So which is fine, right? Sometimes, but Star Wars has rarely been like a vehicle to question the things of how they are and to like push the envelope to not just be representational to an abstract way of current political things, but to start making statements of current political movements. And I think when that specific line that you just mentioned, Joanne, like was in that trailer, I was just like, crap, they're doing it. They're gonna talk about politics in our faces, and they're gonna be like actually addressing what those systems of power are and how they oppress, and like how we have to like address them or not address them as seen from like our own points of view. I know I'm not talking about a reaction to the trailer. It's just that you hit me in a good spot. So I'm just gonna keep going that way. But and then I read like a Diego Luna interview that came out like a couple of weeks ago, I think, where like then he starts talking about how this show is about the life of a migrant. And I'm just like, oh my God, you just keep adding like even better stuff to this show. It's just like a Mexican man, a Latino man talking about the life of a migrant in a Star Wars show. So one, we have like one of the few POC leads in a Star Wars show. Two, like he is not hiding his accent, so he has his Mexican accent there for like all of us Latinos to be Latinxes or Latinas or whatever nomenclature you prefer, to attach ourselves to that and be like, okay, there we are, we're on screen, and Diego's like doing that. It's mind blowing, and then to add not just those two layers, but then this third layer, like okay, but now we're gonna explore the migrant in America, right? Because that's what this is about. It's amazing. And then another interview came out saying that this show is going to be talking about Trumpism in America and like what that has done to society and all that stuff. So I'm just like totally in love already with the show, with just the concept alone and the fat and satisfied line. I'm just like, yes, please feed me more because Papa's hungry. Papa's hungry, and he wants to go to the Sizzler. He wants to go to the buffet, and he wants to eat like everything there. But then the trailer itself, it was amazing. Holy shit! Like I I saw that trailer and just blew my mind. The aesthetics of the CGI and everything that just look just like Rogue One and have everything feel so visceral and real. Everything feels like the original trilogy. You know, it feels like real models from episode 4, 5, and 6. It's such a grounded aesthetic and dark and gritty. And I was just like, I loved it. And then to see Coruscant and Mon Mothma and all the political intrigue there. So I'm just like, okay, this is a bad reference now because this actor is a bad person and he ruined the show, but kind of have that House of Cards thing going on. And Coruscant have Mon Mothma and Stellan Skarsgård and the politicians and doing all that stuff. And then like that
and bringing back that awesome Senate room and
oh my God, when we saw the Senate room.
I know.
And then they do the overhead shot and you can see like the Imperial signet on the floor. And you're just like, oh, Palpatine knows what's up. He like renovated. He was just like, after that fight with Yoda, he's just like, okay, let's change the logo. Change the logo. Let's put some money.
You have to sell the message.
You gotta say, that is true. Oh, it was just like it was like gift after gift. I was very well fed during that trailer, and then to see Saw Gerrera, see Forrest Whitaker.
I know,
Saw Gerrera, which
not
makes sense.
That. It does make sense, but I was not expecting
but I wasn't expecting it. Yeah, I'm just like, well, maybe he comes in season 2 or something, and this is like something else.
Let's call it war. Slade, so good.
So good. A lot of people, I've seen some people like online been talking about, oh, are we gonna see? I was gonna say Ray. Are we gonna see? Oh my God, Felicity Jones, Jin. Are we gonna see Jin on this? And I'm just like, why do you people insist on like cramming? And no, just if she's in, she's in. But this is not her story. This is Cassian's story. It's like,
her story is in Rogue One because she is the only character that we really do get to explore in Rogue One. This is Cassian Andor's story. Go away. I'm sorry. I love the character. Jin was great, but your story's done. We'll get to it when we get to Rogue One.
Yeah, and we'll see K2SO in season 2. Just calm down. We'll see everything. But yeah, oh my God, that trailer was so good. Andor streaming exclusively on Disney Plus on September 18th.
And as you can tell, we are not even a little bit excited.
We're not even a little bit excited.
Not at all.
Not even a little.
Besides Cassian Andor, what character are you guys most excited to see? Joanne.
What was it?
Besides Cassian Andor, what character are you most excited to see?
Oh, I would say Gerrera.
Saga, okay.
Yeah, like I love the way like it was in Rogue One and how he confronted I don't her name. I forgot her name.
Jin.
Right, Jin. So like I love that part. So I will be like very happy to like watch more of his development of character.
Yeah, I want to see how he becomes into like the half robot person that we see in Rogue One. Because he still looks like he's doing relatively well in the trailer. Relatively.
It seems like the limbs are still intact there. Yeah, so far. So we'll see. I think when I first saw the teaser, I was the most excited about Mon Mothma. But now that the full trailer came out, now I think I'm tied between Mon Mothma and Stellan Skarsgård's character to see what happens, because I feel like there's a huge parallel there, like Mon Mothma legacy character since the originals, but we know very little about her as a person.
Right.
Compared to this character we know nothing about and we get completely introduced to during this series. So I think it's going to be really cool to see how those characters interact and how they play together into this, like, and how they work into this like spy thriller, whatever it is that we're going to get. So I'm very excited about seeing those two characters a lot.
Stellan Skarsgård's character, this is a weird name to say, Stellan Skarsgård's character, which all of his children are actors too. Like they're
I know.
that family is a powerhouse apparently. Good for them. Nepotism, but it's fine. But he's a super liberal. Like I've seen some of his interviews and he always goes hard. So that's kind of cool.
Okay.
But Yeah, Saw Gerrera will be cool for sure, especially since we didn't expect him to be on the show. It's gonna like, oh,
Yeah.
shit. Like,
Awesome.
that's the cool thing, right? We're gonna like get all these different perspectives of the rebellion. We get Saw,
Mhm.
we get Mon Mothma, Stellan's character, which is like the wild card. It's like we don't know
Yeah.
kind of
We
what to
don't know.
expect from what his character is looking at. Then obviously our POV character, which is Diego Cassian, like having to
Yeah.
navigate through like all these different lenses of rebellion, and which I think it's very again to like tie it back to like real world politics. It's kind of what is happening with liberal politics to an extent, right? We have like all these different branches of how to be liberal in the far left or or a moderate or whatever, and
Yeah.
like all these different ways to try to fight some of the things that we've been seeing from the right. And
Yeah, and then
how
especially
do
a
you
character
navigate?
like Saw Gerrera, who we've seen ever since the Clone Wars, and then we
Mhm.
know he ends up being like an extremist by the time we get to Rogue One. So like, where in his story exactly are we here with Saw Gerrera? So
Mhm.
that'll
It's
be
gonna
really
be
cool.
it's
Yeah,
gonna be delicious. It's gonna be delicious.
oh, it's gonna be great.
Mm.
I know. I'm so
And
excited.
I'd be remiss if I didn't keep harping on the representation angle of it. Like we also have Adria Arjona in that show,
Yeah.
and
Mhm.
she's she's half Puerto Rican, half Guatemalteca, I think. Because she's Ricardo Arjona, the singer's daughter, and I think he's from Guatemala, maybe. Please correct me if I'm wrong.
Yeah.
But if you're not correcting me, I'm going to assume I'm right. So so we have the Latin X-wing squad
Yeah.
going on here. So
Yeah.
it's gonna be a
We
beautiful.
don't know much
beautiful
about the character though. That's why we can't comment yet. But
Yet.
we are sure we're gonna be fans once the show starts.
Oh yeah, and we
Yeah.
hope we hope she survives. We don't want to have all the Latin
Everybody
characters
die.
killed. Yeah, let's
Because we
let's
already know Diego Luna's gonna die. So spoiler alert.
spoiler alert.
Yes.
Oh shit. Oh shit. If you haven't seen a movie from 2016, be
Sorry, that's
careful.
on you.
Watch out, polar bears. Watch out. It's gonna. Sorry, everybody. But yeah, I mean, it's wonderful. I think it's very, again, I think we keep saying this with every episode, but we live in the best possible times to be a Star Wars fan, because there is a story for everybody. If you just want to like lay back and relax and just go to the beach and just turn off your brain and just have a fun story to learn some fun lessons from, you got the Lego Star Wars Summer Vacation Special. If you want to like go deep and gritty and like see some real world politics in a thriller, you have Andor. If you want to kick it back old school style, you got the original trilogy. If you if you don't care to watch a movie, you have all the books. I mean, it's an amazing time. There's so much content coming out. And then after Andor, we have the Bad Batch coming out like almost immediately. So we're gonna have double Star Wars going on at the same time. It's crazy. It's crazy. It's gonna, yeah. I mean, it's gonna be intense for us content creators, but for normal fans, for normal fans, is like, oh yeah, just get to watch Star Wars. For us, he's like, oh shit, we need to like record everything.
We need to record.
But it's a good problem to have.
Yeah, yeah. It's a good time to be a fan.
Very exciting, very exciting. To like be a Star Wars fan, like see the future with everything that's coming out. So like I think before we wrap up, I don't know if we had like any final words. Like Joanne, I was wonderful like to have you with us. We hope to keep having you here. Any final thoughts on the Lego Star Wars or Andor before we wrap up?
Yeah, I think the Lucasfilm like make us like emerge, like I said at the beginning, to nostalgia, and I think that's very important for us to like keep in ourselves and manage to use that nostalgia to like better like enhance ourselves and do the stuff that we eventually want to do. And although the memories don't end, although the trip must eventually end, the memories never end.
I was looking at it too. It's such a good line. Such a good line.
Yeah.
I need to like print it out and like put it. It's really good.
That
one, post that one, and then they're so fat and satisfied. That's
We
have to
so
frame.
fat and satisfied.
Yeah.
Nani, what about you?
That's what's so good about these two properties. Like we have one that just reminds us of how it is to be a kid and what it feels to just have pure joy and not take ourselves too seriously, but then being slapped in the face a little bit with, but reality still exists. So we have to face it and know that there is grit out there and there is loss, and there is hope still regardless. So I think that's what's great about Star Wars. Even when it's grim, there's always an element of hope there. So you know, and we know that, and Rogue One ends in tragedy, but eventually that's why the rebels win. So you know, it was a sacrifice, but it was an honorable one and a hopeful one to make. So now we get to see how we get there. So how exciting is that?
Too exciting.
Too exciting.
I'm a little upset that they pushed the release date back, because now it's just like we have to wait a little
wait
longer.
more. Yeah.
But at least we have so many like good shows from here to then, because obviously we just had Sandman, which was amazing.
Which
if
was
anyone
amazing.
hasn't seen it,
Yeah.
please watch it. It's so good.
It's so good.
At least the first 5 episodes. The last 5 are good, but not as good as the first. In my opinion, I'm sorry. And then on my birthday we have the Rings of Power, so we have Lord of the Rings coming back, which is gonna be awesome. I hope. So we'll see that. Those trailers look cool too, but I'm not gonna make you see that, Manny. You can just watch the show. We're not a Lord of the Rings podcast. Although we can talk about it, I guess.
We can talk about it. It's still nerd media.
It is. Oh my God, that's super nerd media.
I know.
If Star Wars is nerd media, like Lord of the Rings is the next level. It's just like, it's like nerd. That's like when you look that, like when you're a nerd and you go to a convention and you see another nerd and you're like, nerd. That's Lord of the Rings. But it's okay. It's okay.
It's great.
We are that as well.
We are that nerd too. Yeah.
Yeah, I got my big ass special edition Lord of the Rings book here, so I am that nerd too. It's fine. No judgment.
Well, this is it for tonight, everybody. We are Triad of the Force. We have Joanne joining us for now. Welcome her. Give her some
Welcome
love.
to the family.
Always about familia. You can find us anywhere that podcast can be found. Just search Triad of the Force and you will find us. Please like us, subscribe, leave a comment, let us know. We have
please like us.
Please. And if you haven't watched Summer Vacation, and if you have no idea what's happening with Andor, figure it out, because it's awesome and we're all for it. And until next time, may the Force be with you.